And remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
What would you do if when you okay so he said yes would go?
How could you? How could you? She screamed as blood dripped from the how could you? How could you? She screamed as blood.
Listen here, Buster. You can either learn to read at a 5th grade level, or you can go read if you give a mouse a cookie.
I am attempting to read all the books featured on Gilmore Girls, and this is how I'm going to do it. First, I took the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge test, and I was surprised to find out that I have read 31 books out of the 339 featured, so not too bad. I then grabbed the entire list and put it on a spreadsheet to keep better track of this challenge. I thought the best place to start would be by tackling the books I already own but haven't read, so I went through the list again, wrote them all down, and made my way to my bookshelf to retrieve all 8 of them, mostly classics. As a slow reader, I haven't given myself a deadline for this challenge. This is purely for my enjoyment. But I will be back with an update in a few weeks when there's something to report. Wish me luck.
This badass woman is named Emily Wilson, and she was the first woman to translate the Odyssey into English and have it published. What she found was quite disturbing. She found that the previous translators of the Odyssey, all men, omitted some things and added some pretty misogynistic content into the text. Check out my pinned video on that. The super exciting new news is that her translation of the Iliad comes out on September 26th. She spent 6 years translating this and working painstakingly to have the modern reader be able to understand it and feel the same emotions that we would if we were listening to the original in ancient times.
Next. Hey, I was wondering if you could recommend me a book? Depends, what do you want? Okay, so I want the 2 main characters to be dating, right? But I want them to only be dating for appearances. I don't want them to actually like each other. But then maybe while they're keeping up with the ruse, they wind up falling in love. Oh, you want fake dating? What? Fake dating, that's what that's called. What type of fake dating do you want? What do you mean, what kind? I mean, do you want a fake dating sports romance? A spicy sapphic fake dating romance? A fake dating second chance romance? Femme Kylo Ren fanfic fake dating? Oh my. Is enemies to lovers fake dating a thing I can ask for? Is that not specific enough? No, that's plenty specific. But I'm just curious, do you want a fantasy enemies to lovers fake dating? What, rivals fake dating? A love obsessed and anti-love enemies to lovers fake dating? Okay, look, I want 2 characters that swear they don't like each other to pretend to date, and I want them to be fighting their feelings so badly that they wind up actually falling for one another. And I want it to have diversity, and I want it to be funny, and I want there to be an audiobook of it that's just entertaining as hell. Now, is that enough? Oh my god, I'm so proud of you, it sure is.
Okay, game plan. First lap around the stores, reconnaissance, focus more on displays.
No. We've only been here 5 minutes.
Second lap, we go into the sections and actually read the book titles.
What are you doing?
Someone's in the aisle, I want to go in.
Just go in the aisle.
Okay, do that.
You have that one.
I'm just saying hi.
How about this one?
I love that book.
What's wrong with the first one?
What's wrong with you? I can't find the book that I'm looking for.
You want me to ask someone?
No. Okay, third lap, make sure we didn't miss anything, and then maybe like 2 more laps. Okay, this one's recommended to me. This one sounds cool. This one looks cool. I love this author, and this one feels nice.
Then put that one back.
I'm attached. I think I disassociated in the romance aisle. Can we go back?
My alarm went off 30 minutes earlier than it usually does on weekdays because it's Friday and that means Dad made waffles. Then I got sad and realized Friday also means it's biology test today. I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth when I ran into Addison, who was looking at her arms. When she saw me coming, she threw her sweatshirt on. "Austin, knock next time," she yelled, slamming the door in my face. But it was open. She groans and storms out the door. My sister hurts herself. I have seen her scars before. She thinks I'm too young to know or understand, but I know and understand. It makes me sad. I wish I could talk to her about it, but we aren't close anymore. I wonder if my parents know. Before I went downstairs, I grabbed a puzzle box on my bed. There's a girl in my biology class named Grace. I like her, and I know she likes puzzles, so I put this one together and painted the words Hoko over it to ask her to the dance. I guess it was good to have biology tests on the day that I'm going to ask her so I can be more nervous about the test. Breakfast was good, but Addison didn't stay. I can't help but think she's mad at me, and that's why she left. I picked out a cool band shirt that she complimented last time I wore it. I don't think she noticed, though. She's so cool, it makes sense why she doesn't hang out with me as much as she used to. Dad started yelling at her for wearing such warm clothes in the summer. I told him to leave her alone because I knew why she had it on, but no one heard me. Then I started laughing because they were all yelling to stop yelling. I said bye to Addison when she left, but I don't think she heard me either. I drove with Dad to school today. I love my dad. He always tries to do things with us, even though they are usually pretty kiddie. I do them with him because I know he is trying. He even plays video games with me sometimes. He's been stressed about work recently. The day went by slowly. I had English first. We watched the Dead Poets Society and I fell asleep in the back. Then I ate lunch with my new friends. I like them. I used to hang out with my friends from elementary school, but I think I outgrew them. I met Parker, Ann, and Rachel in band class. I never met people so determined to be different. I think all groups in middle school just care about fitting in, but some groups' version of fitting in is by not fitting in. But I am better at being different than normal, so just like some people are better at being normal than different. Biology class was after lunch. I swallowed my nerves and walked in. We have assigned seats in that class, and I have to share a desk with Elijah. We went to grade school together. He is not nice to me. I think if I were not sitting with him, I would not be failing the class. "Look who's back," he says to his friends who snicker the F slur I just learned about. I do not really care what they have to say about me. I would just prefer not to be in the room with them while they say it. I slipped into the desk and didn't say anything, but I dropped my backpack in the process. My things went everywhere, and sliding right into Elijah's lap was my lunchbox. "So sweet of you to give me food before the test, but I have to let you know that I don't like you like that," he said, and his friends snarled. My heart was beating so fast as I waited for the teacher to come into the classroom. I never wanted to take a biology test more in my life. He pulled out a folded paper towel that was in my lunchbox and read it aloud. "Austin, I hope you do well on your test, buddy. Remember to take deep breaths. I'm so excited about mother-son barbecue tonight. I love you, Mom." Everyone started laughing, including the girls, including Grace. I picked up my backpack and stood there. "Are you going to cry, Austin?" Elijah asked me. I shook my head. I wanted to hit him. I wanted to say something, but I was stuck. I quickly grabbed my things and headed for the door. On the way out, I tossed the puzzle box in the trash. It was not a complete lie when I told the nurse I felt sick. I did feel sick. I cried when I got home. I played video games for 3 hours, and then I felt better. I heard the sound of Jackson, her boyfriend's truck, pulling away. I tried to run downstairs to see if he wanted to play a game of GTA before he left, but I was met with Addison at the front of the stairs instead. I followed her to her room. She didn't notice my cowboy outfit for a barbecue. "Did Mom ever leave you dumb notes in your lunchbox?" I asked. Addison nodded. "Did you ever get bullied about them?" She shook her head no. "Oh, I did." Addison came over to me and squeezed my hand. "I'm so sorry, dude. That's the worst. Kick him where it hurts next time, or better yet, I'll deal with him." She smiled at me. That's when I noticed she was crying. My mom tells me I need to be better at reading the room and noticing social cues. I remembered what happened this morning, and suddenly I felt bad for talking about my problems. "Better yet, we can have Jackson deal with him," I say, wanting to make her laugh. She did not say anything, but went back to her bed. "Was he here? I didn't see him come in." "He is not going to be coming back anymore," she says. She's crying. I did not know what to say, so I went to her bed and hugged her. She started crying more. Mom started calling my name to leave. "Austin, Mom and Dad think I'm leaving for dinner and Jackson's football game in an hour. Please don't tell them I'm not. I just want to be alone." I nodded. "Maybe he will come back," I said. She shook her head. "He will not come back." "But he will miss you too much," I say. "He doesn't love me anymore. You are too young to understand." "Well, I'm old enough to know that I love you." She doesn't say anything. She rolls her eyes and I leave and shut the door. I don't think she gives me enough credit. I'm old enough to understand that even though she is beautiful, she does not eat. I'm old enough to understand that she makes herself bleed sometimes. I'm old enough to understand that when she gets mad, she does not want to be mean, just like I don't want to be mean when I get mad, but we are teenagers and it's part of our, as Mom says, growing up process. I'm old enough to understand that Mom and Dad don't kiss anymore. I'm old enough to understand that if Dad did not have to feed us, he would quit his job. I may not fully understand, but I'm old enough to notice. Mom told me that I was a good brother in the car. I agree. I think Addison is a good sister, too. Mom and I went to the band barbecue tonight with some of my new friends and their moms. Most of the time it's hard having a sister like Addison because worrying about her is all my parents have time for. But sometimes it helps me out. I'm glad my mom forgot to ask me about my biology test.
It's like a reward.